Joining us is salsa artist David Cedeno, who's been in the music scene since age 14. We get a taste of his music, and we revisit Prague, Southern New Jersey, and their cancer awareness outreach. It's all here on the next Latino Motion. Join us.
Choose quality, value, distinction. Choose Stockton.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation, and Stockton University. This edition of Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is brought to you by the HD Studios at the campus of Stockton University. Funding for Latino Motion is provided by Atlanticare, healthcare you can believe in. Atlantic City Electric, energy for a changing world. And South Jersey Gas. Welcome to Latino Motion, a weekly interview show highlighting issues impacting New Jersey's Latino community while advancing understanding of Latino cultural heritage and contributions to our society. And here is your host, Bert Lopez.
Buenos dias and welcome to Latino Motion. Some say the stars often fade away, but a true artist lives forever. One such artist is David Cedeno. He is internationally known for his classy salsa, and he is right here with us. David, welcome to Latino Motion.
Thank you, Bert. Thank you for the invitation, for having me here.
And I've known you for at least 15 years.
More than that. Yeah.
When our friend Luis Camacho, rest his soul, introduced us, and you came down to Atlantic City to do a concert for us.
Exactly.
And I know that you've been in this music business for forever. You started at age 14. Tell me a little bit about how you got started.
Well, I started at 14 with the band that you know now as David Cedeno. But a little before that, I was playing bass. I play horn in my band now live, playing bass with my brother's band. It was a 7-piece combo. And then before that, we were rock and roll from the age of, I would say 7 till about 10. And then from 10 to 14, the Latin, my brother's band, and then I started the David Cedeno Orchestra in 1969.
So you got a lot of influences in your music. Tell me, more so than anything else, you have a very classy type of salsa music. Tell me a little bit about those influences in your music.
Well, I was influenced a lot by wanting to do some of the oldies but goodies. Right. I grew up with that kind of music, the oldies but goodies, and then when I did the salsa, I felt bad leaving the American market, so I incorporated and I do a lot of oldies but goodies, which are English, cover tunes, sung, by in the same manner, just with a different arrangement and a big band sound.
Oh. So I know when you started at age 14, you had a lot of support from your brother and your family were all involved with music. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, actually, I don't know if it's like that, but very close to it. My mother taught me how to play the guitar.
Okay.
So and then my uncles were all musicians. My brother, yes, he taught me, and then he got married when I was 14, and abandoned the band, Okay. So, but it's okay. Then I did the big band, and today he plays, and then after marriage was over a little bit, he came back and played with me. So he's still in my band today, my 2 brothers and my 2 nephews.
So it's still all in the family, so to speak.
It's all in the family, yeah.
Now, what advice do you give to the younger folks who are pursuing a music career? It's not an easy thing to do, but what advice do you give?
Go for it. I hear people saying it's a tough market. It is a really tough market. It's difficult and it's a big struggle. But I tell you, it's going to fill your heart to be a musician. I say, go for it. Just do the music and don't do all the other bad stuff that comes along with the music. Don't get influenced by anybody else the wrong way. If you want to get somewhere, stay clean and
do the music.
Just do the music. You know what I'm saying? Don't spoil it.
Let's talk about one of the songs that you did for a tribute to 9/11. Tell me a little bit about that.
Actually, we were the last band to perform at the World Trade Center, just a few days before that. We used to play normally at the 107th Street place called Windows in the World. So when that happened with the World Trade Center, I actually went to my studio downstairs and I wrote a song, but it was all F words, and then my wife says, hey, if you want people to hear you out, you can. So anyway, I went to a real recording studio and I took my 2 daughters and I did a soft rock, not salsa, soft rock song in English that I composed and arranged myself. And we recorded it. And it's called America United, Remembering 911.
Oh, nice. Now we're going to listen to one of your songs. It's Salsa Nada Más, basically.
Yes.
And we're going to break and listen to that tune. And then we're going to come back and talk a little bit more.
Good. Sounds good.
All right. We'll be right back right after this.
Tú te las echas de cantante, pero no sabes lo que es sin darte cuenta que tú no eres lo que se mandó a buscar. También te guías de mamito, te crees un oso con las mujeres, sin darte cuenta que tú no eres lo que se mandó a buscar, sin darte cuenta que tú no eres lo que se mandó a buscar.
Lo que se mandó a buscar fue salsa nada más. Se mandó a buscar fue salsa nada más.
Aquí lo que se mandó a buscar fue David Cedeno para gozar.
Lo que se mandó a buscar fue salsa nada más.
Pero se dice que la vida es corta y si le espera la salsa buena viene de
Lo que se mandó a buscar fue salsa nada más.
salsa, salsa para gozar en el barrio. Con esta banda estamos acabando.
Que se mandó a buscar fue salsa nada más.
Te digo, mira que el guerrillero, mira, se botó.
Que se mandó a buscar fue salsa nada más.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation. Join us online at www.latinomotion.tv. Find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We encourage your comments and contributions for show topics.
Welcome back to Latino Motion. I'm here with David Cedeno, a recording artist, and that was beautiful music that we just heard. And I know you've had a great deal of experience with a lot of famous artists. And we're going to go right to Jennifer Lopez and Mark Anthony and your experience you had with one of the movies, the El Cantante.
Yes, very nice movie. It was a movie that they produced, and they, had the honor of me being in their movie. And I play a part of a trumpet player from the 70s as a Fania All-Star. And it was beautiful. It was a great movie and fantastic.
And then you also gone around the world, you also done concerts in Japan and so forth. Tell me a little bit of that as well.
I was in Japan for like 6 months. It started with 6 weeks, and then it went into like 2 months, and then it went into 8 weeks, and before you know, 10 weeks, and then before you know, we were there 6 months. Beautiful country.
Now you wear a lot of hats. You have a total of 16 CDs already out.
Yes.
And so you're a composer. You also arrange and you also produce. So how do you do all these hats?
Well, it's beautiful. It's like walking and eating and singing at the same time, especially with something you love to do. Because I did my first album when I was like 71, I was like maybe 16, 17 years old. I wrote everything there. It was all me and my brothers. We composed. I did all the arrangement, booked the studio, produced the album, pressed the album, distributed the album, went to the radio. I booked my own interviews and promotion. Went around promoting as a promoter as well. So, you know, it's not hard to do. We still do that once in a while when we do the outside concerts.
Right.
I got a promoter that she goes and she sits there and she sells the CDs too. Yeah, that's very interesting that you mentioned that because we just started doing that recently.
So you've been at it for a long time. What's next?
There's really, I don't know, just keep at it. You know, keep doing what we're doing. We are working on a new CD.
Okay.
We're picking out titles. We have a couple of titles already. One is called Cuando Manda el Corazón. That's from a soap opera. That's
Cuando Manda el Corazón.
it's a cover tune from Vicente Fernandez, one of the biggest guys in Mexico. And then we're also picking tunes like Rod Stewart. You know, have I told you lately that I love you? You know, stuff like that. And we're gonna do a lot of more American, a couple more Americans, and we're doing stuff by Julio Iglesias.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, fuiste mía, solo mía, mía. So we got the tune selected. We're just actually working on the arrangements. That really takes a long time.
We have one song which is "He Will Break Your Heart," which is in English.
Yes.
We're gonna listen to that right now.
Sure, that sounds good.
All right, let's listen in.
I can say, but he's had so many rehearsals, baby. To him it's just another play. Oh, but wait, and when that final act is over, and you're left standing there, oh, when he takes his bow and makes his exit, girl, I'll be there to take you home. He don't love you like I love you. Oh, baby, you know I need you so. Never, never, never let you go. He don't love you like I love you. Yeah, 'cause you look so good and you're looking fine. Gonna make you mine if it takes all night. Amor, I simply te quiero.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation. Join us online at www.latinomotion.tv. Find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter We encourage your comments and contributions for show topics.
Welcome back to Latino Motion, where we visit our interview with Jocelyn Ortiz with PRAC of Southern New Jersey and their important cancer awareness outreach to Latinas. Let's listen in. Latinas have a higher risk of breast cancer, and the Puerto Rican Action Committee of Southern New Jersey, also known as PRAC, has an outreach initiative to reach more Latinas for early detection and breast health education. Joining me is Jocelyn Ortiz. She is an outreach coordinator for PRAC. Jocelyn, welcome to Latino Motion.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
So tell me a little bit about the initiative that PRAC is undertaking and the outreach that you're doing, particularly in the Latino community.
Well, this new program that we have is through the Susan G. Komen. It's a grant that we received, and it's basically tailored to serve Hispanic women around the ages of 50 to 74 to try to give them an awareness, educate them, and also not only just educate them, but let them know that early detection saves lives. So our goal is to basically not only educate them, but let them know that we will also provide transportation for them if that is needed. Translate.
So basically, nationally, I think we've seen the trend that early detention has really made a difference.
Yes.
A significant difference.
Yes.
And Latinas basically are lagging somewhat behind.
Yes. It is proven that Latina women, they don't get their yearly mammograms, or if they've never had one. So our job is to try to educate them and let them know that the importance of getting their mammograms yearly. And so with that said, a lot of women, we have noticed that they're not getting their mammograms done. And I know I've stumbled across a few women who have a language barrier, and that can sometimes discourage them for making appointments.
And I noticed that with this particular initiative, you're trying to break down some of those barriers.
Yes.
So one of them is transportation, obviously.
Correct.
Big issue, not just in the Latino community, but lower income communities where transportation
Yes.
may be an issue. And so you help provide transportation to the primary care, or what's the transportation for?
The transportation will be for their screenings, anything that has to do with breast health. Along with also, we'll provide that one-on-one support with them. So we won't leave them alone in their appointments. We'll also translate for them so they don't feel that they're not able to communicate with a doctor if there's any changes that they may have noticed or anything like that. We're going to help them and assist them in that as well.
And we noticed that women, particularly Latinas, are usually the primary caregivers in the home.
Yeah.
And they seem to neglect their own health.
Yes. A lot of times what we've noticed is that they put themselves on the back burner and they take care of the family and everyone else, and they usually neglect their health, their need. And so we want to encourage them, empower them to get these exams done. And also, whether they have insurance or no insurance, we want to let them know that we have worked with hospitals and NJC, which is a program that takes it's a free early detection. So there is no excuse.
So basically, right now, anyone could get a breast cancer exam, regardless of your insurance status. How about your legal status? Were you still able to qualify to get a free exam?
Yes.
And so you'll make those arrangements. So what's the best way to make this happen for an individual who is looking to do this?
If there's anyone that is interested in the program, they can contact right directly to our office. They can either email or call directly to the office, and we will take the process right there. We'll do an intake. We'll contact the proper hospital or NJC, the nearest NJC, and we'll try to schedule their appointments and provide the transportation as needed. So
you provide the actually help them get the appointment and the transportation to get there. Now, this is throughout South Jersey, or what areas are we talking about?
Yes, we are targeting Atlantic, Gloucester, Salem, and Cumberland County.
So most of southern New
Yes.
Jersey is included in this program. And obviously, it's not just a one-time going for the screening. There's ongoing education as well.
Yes, and also if there's any follow-ups that need to be made, we will provide that as well and continue with them on their health.
Thanks again to Jocelyn, and a special thanks to my friend David Cedeno. Thank you so much for coming on the show, and I look forward to the new CD.
Thank you, Bert. Thank you for having me on your show.
It's my pleasure. And thank you for joining us on home once again here on Latino Motion.
Choose quality, value, distinction. Choose Stockton.
Funding for Latino Motion is provided by Atlanticare, healthcare you can believe in. Atlantic City Electric, energy for a changing world. And South Jersey Gas.